I was asked to judge the Source Engine Discord 2020 Wingman Mapping Contest. I was absolutely shocked by how unconventional the entries were. This is a real map. It won second place. I never thought I'd see the day Counter-Strike in space. I don't think we figured out how to make the ideal Wingman map just yet, but a good step forward in that direction is throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Well, let's see what stuck. Awkward. Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you. Thank you to everybody involved with the Source Engine Discord. I think they're doing a great thing for the community, and congratulations to everybody who participated in the contest. It was a pleasure to go through your maps and check out all the interesting new ideas. Before we go any further, I have words. For any of you who are interested in level design, you can make the most beautiful, immersive experience ever and still fail miserably at level design. Level design is not an art. It is a craft. You are creating something that serves a function. It exists within the context of the game rules. Artwork and immersion are there to augment the gameplay experience. Gameplay is primary. The Wingman maps we currently have are just single bomb site 5v5 maps. You take Inferno, you trim off everything except a bomb site, boom, you got yourself a Wingman map. I'm excited about the idea of maps made from the ground up for Wingman, because I think Wingman is an entirely different formula that hasn't been cracked yet. I am aware that Rialto exists. And that's all I have to say about that. In this mapping contest, we saw a ton of new concepts. Let's explore them now. This is Recovery. It got 18th place, but it did introduce a concept that I really like. Normally, CTs have control of the bomb site, and CTs need to break through their defenses. On this map, the bomb site is in the middle of both teams, and each team has 3 paths to that bomb site. I tested the meeting points, and the CTs do get to the choke points first, but with smart utility usage, vision can be denied. This ensures that all gameplay is localized to a single area, but it still gives each team a variety of ways to approach it. I think a lot could be done with this concept. I'm gonna look at it. My eyes! The next interesting defusal map concept that I want to talk about was in the map Sawmill. Now, there were a bunch of other maps in the competition with the same idea, but I think it's most obvious in Sawmill. This time, CTs get initial control of the bomb site, but the map is designed like a circle around that bomb site. It's like you have a standard 3-lane map, but the bomb site is in the very center, and the map is very small, so you can pretty much cut the map in half with one vantage point. Sawmill did a good job of giving some safe plant position, so the bomb might actually get planted instead of just hunting other players the entire time. But Wingman truly is a clutch simulator. Maybe the best way to make maps for it is to embrace that, and just give the players a fun environment to have a gunfight without the intense strategic decision making of 5v5. I don't think the map has to be very big, I don't think it has to have a bunch of lanes. I think most people play Wingman to have a quick game with a lot of gameplay. Since there's only 2 players, you're pretty much always involved in the action, or to cheat. I think a lot of people play it just to cheat. This is Cavelin. My eyes! Consider that maps with 5 players a team have 3 or 4 choke points. The implication is that 1 or 2 players are charged with holding off a potential 5 players who could be pushing that position, or at least evening up the numbers, delaying them for a rotate, or setting up for a retake. In Wingman, there's only 2 potential attackers, not 5, so it's much easier to hold a choke point. This is why a lot of the Wingman maps have 3 choke points, 1 more than the number of defenders. But if you have 3 choke points, 2 players can't realistically hold it. At least 1 choke point will always be open. But you're forgetting, Mr. TheWarOwl, there's only 1 bomb site, so there's no reason for rotates. Realistically, a player could stay in the bomb site and play all 3 entrances. I think the ideal Wingman map has 1 complex objective with 3 entries into it for the Ts. You should be able to watch 1 or 2 of those entrances from a single position, but not all 3. The bomb site needs to be complex enough with enough positions that it allows for positional takes within 1 location. Utility should still be used here, but not too complex that the game turns into a hunting simulator where players walk around the map simply trying to backstab and catch the enemy off guard. That's not compelling gameplay to me. If we look at the most popular Wingman maps in the rotation, they follow this formula, and a lot of the maps from the competition do as well. There were a lot of hostage maps. I don't like hostage maps. I don't think it works. I have my reasons. Maybe I'll save that for a future video. A lot of maps tried to make hostage mode work in Wingman in really clever ways. One trend that I saw in Extraction and Paro was to spawn the hostage closer to the CTs and then have two different rescue points that had to be defended. The CTs had to push through the Ts to get to those rescue points. This helps to fix the main balance issue with hostage rescue, that one team gets to play defense twice. Once before the hostage is picked up, and once after. The hostage maps in rotation right now are very, very T-sided because of this. Orion is probably the most unique map in the competition, a hostage map with one hostage that spawns in between the two teams and one rescue point, but it also has low gravity and a one-way door. I don't think low gravity works with Counter-Strike, mainly because of the movement accuracy. When you're jumping, you're pretty much worthless, and with the low gravity jumping puzzles, you're floating through the air a lot. There is a game mode where this works really well, and I think it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Come up here.
But let's save that for the next video. Such a unique idea is refreshing and fun, but will never make it into the game because Valve only allows maps into the game that fits a specific art style and theme. I think this is a mistake. Nobody, and I mean nobody, cares about the world building of Counter-Strike. I'm sorry, Counter-Strike is solely about the gameplay. I appreciate all the fun story elements, but if you add a moon-based map, nobody would be upset. If the map is fun, it works. The maps in this contest remind me of old school community maps, but with polish. So back in the day, custom maps were crude, unfinished, undisciplined, but they were fun and they had interesting ideas. Funk vehicle is a right, not a privilege. I say this a lot, but it's because it's true. Community content creators are the backbone of Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike started as a mod over 20 years ago, and it's kept that tradition going to this day. It's important to foster that community. Another big thanks to the Source Engine Discord, guys. I'm gonna have a link in the description of the video. If you're interested in map making, you can go check them out. They help each other with map making and they organize playtests. Valve software should always be commended for providing development tools to the community. I think it's very important. The next generation of map makers comes from the modding community in every generation. To get into game development or software development, I always give this advice. I think this is the best advice. Tinker. Come up with a side project, come up with an idea, and then figure out how to make that idea happen. Follow through and finish it. That's the best way to learn. You learn by doing, you learn by figuring things out. There's resources all around you that you can use to do that. It's a damn shame that developers outside of Valve software don't seem to see the value in their own communities. Valorant doesn't even have a demo viewer yet. How do you have a competitive esport without a demo viewer? I guess selling overpowered new agents is more important. Thank you very much for watching. I'm TheWarOwl and I still have no closer. Come up with a side project, come up with an idea, and then figure out how to do it. Use the resources around you to Ow, I hit my elbow!